All right, today we're going to dive into a concept that, well, it might make you a little uncomfortable. It's this idea that you can be reprogrammed, that you can operate on a level that separates you from pretty much 99% of humanity. And look, this isn't your typical self-help advice. Think of this more like an operational manual for a totally different way of being.
So the core idea we're exploring here is it's unsettling, but it's also incredibly powerful. It basically suggests that the person you think you are, your thoughts, your emotions, your reactions, it's not some organic thing you developed. It's software. And it was installed on hardware you didn't even choose.
So, what is this system we're talking about? It's not some grand conspiracy theory. The source material calls it consensus reality. And it's the matrix we all live in, this unspoken agreement to pretend certain things matter, to follow rules that make us predictable, and to call this whole process of suppressing our true nature civilization.
Okay, let's break down exactly what this social operating system is, and more importantly, how it got installed in the first place. This is really about understanding the invisible programming we've all been handed since the day we were born.
I mean, just think about it. From our parents, our teachers, our peers, we learned to chase validation. We were taught that ambition is a bad thing, and that our gut instincts, yeah, you gotta push those down to be considered good. It's a program, passed down like a virus, and it's designed to do one thing, make you manageable and predictable. You're not actually living. You're performing for an audience of fellow prisoners. So this brings us to the proposed solution, this idea of going beyond human. Now, this isn't about becoming a superhero or anything like that. It's about stepping outside of this incredibly deep-seated programming. And here's the crucial point. This is all about achieving mental and emotional freedom. It's about breaking out of the prison where your reactions are totally predictable, where your desires are basically manufactured for you, and where your emotional state is controlled by whatever's happening around you. It's about taking back your own mind. So how do you actually do it? Well, the source material lays out a whole philosophy that's built on three foundational pillars. These are the core principles for creating a brand new internal operating system for yourself.
This new operating system is built on three core concepts. Let's break them down one by one because this is exactly where the abstract theory starts to become a practical framework for real change. So these are the three separations: emotional sovereignty, reality distortion, and strategic invisibility. And each one builds on the last, kind of moving from internal mastery all the way to external influence. Okay, the first pillar is emotional sovereignty. And this isn't about becoming a robot. It's actually the opposite. It means you experience the full spectrum of emotions: anger, joy, ambition, all of it. But you are no longer a slave to them, right? So if someone tries to provoke you, you observe their attempt, you feel that anger rising, and then you choose your response instead of just reacting on autopilot. You wield your emotions, they don't wield you. And this quote, this just brilliantly illustrates a key part of emotional sovereignty: integrating your own darkness. Society teaches us to suppress our anger, our ambition, our capacity for ruthlessness. But by burying these parts of ourselves, we actually become powerless. The idea here is that true strength comes from acknowledging and controlling your full capacity, both the light and the shadow. The second pillar is all about understanding that reality is, well, it's negotiable. Not the facts, but the meaning we assign to them. Every single social interaction is a negotiation of frame. Whose version of reality are we operating in? Most people, they just unconsciously accept whatever frame is handed to them. This is about consciously authoring your own. Here's a perfect example. Someone tries to shame you by calling you aggressive. The programmed response? It's to get defensive or apologize, right? You accept their frame. But the beyond human response is to redefine their reality entirely. You don't argue, you reframe. I'm decisive. You impose your interpretation with total conviction. And more often than not, other people will just unconsciously accept it. And this brings us to the third and probably the most advanced concept: the ego. Our ego wants to be seen. It wants to be recognized as powerful. But true power, according to this philosophy, lies in being underestimated. While everyone else is broadcasting their every move for validation, you're quietly moving pieces on a board they don't even realize they're playing on. Machiavelli understood this duality just perfectly. You need both raw strength and cunning strategy to navigate the world effectively.
One without the other is just going to leave you vulnerable.
So, the crucial point is this. You have to be both the lion, to show strength when you need to, and the fox, to see the traps that everyone else misses. But you only show them the part of you that serves your purpose in that specific moment. Everything else, that remains your strategic advantage.
Okay, so we've covered the philosophy, but how do you actually put it into practice? Let's look at how the theory gets built into an actionable protocol, turning all these ideas into something you can actually do. The source lays out 4 practical steps. First, you've got the morning separation, just sitting in silence and consciously identifying the mask you plan to wear for the day. Second is the reaction delay, a simple 3-second pause before any response. That little gap between stimulus and reaction, that's where your power lives. Now let's look at the last 2 in a bit more detail.
Step 3 is basically like debugging your own code. Every week, you ask yourself these 3 diagnostic questions. You're not judging yourself, you're just observing patterns. You start to see who pushes your buttons, where you gave up control of your reality, and when you acted out of conditioning instead of what you truly wanted. And once you see the pattern, you can start to rewrite the code.
And finally, step 4, dark integration. This is about facing the parts of yourself that society told you were evil, your ambition, your rage, your selfishness. The idea is that these are just tools. When you're afraid of them, other people can use that fear to control you. But when you own them, without apology, you take away their leverage. You become unmanipulable. Now, this path is definitely not presented as an easy one. It comes with a cost. See, when you stop running the same software as everybody else, there are real-world consequences. And this really illustrates the trade-off. You might get called cold or manipulative. You will almost certainly lose relationships with people who are committed to staying in the system. But what you gain in return is unshakable self-trust, a massive strategic advantage, and an authentic power that isn't dependent on anyone else's approval. These are what the source calls the noble lies, the ideas that keep the whole system running smoothly. You've been told power corrupts, but maybe it just reveals. You've been told that being nice is a virtue, but maybe it's just an absence of strategy. These are the rules designed to serve the rule makers, not you. So the ultimate question this material really leaves us with is a personal one. The capacity for this kind of change is there, inside you, but the choice, that's what really matters. Will you choose the discomfort of growth over the comfort of conformity? Will you risk being misunderstood in order to become truly, authentically free? That's the choice.